of the evening is sponsored by Valerie Gibbs CPA. It is a submission-only Brazilian Jiu Jitsu match scheduled for one 10-minute round. Your first fighter, fighting out of my Golf Vacation blue corner. He represents Lawrenceburg Combat Club out of Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Logan Meadors. And his opponent, fighting out of the Southern Roots Mortgage Brokers red corner. He's representing Nashville MMA right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is James Carranza.
Carranza and Meadors kicking us off here at the Underground. I know Carranza has been very active in some of these smooth comp jiu-jitsu tournaments. He sports a 15-1 record in those. We'll see if that's what he's all about here with the grappling as things get started here between Meadors and Carranza. A little bit of a misnomer there on the graphic.
Yeah, I would say he's an advanced white belt. I mean, here's a guy with 15 wins on smooth comp, so he's obviously going out and being active and wants to win as many white belt tournaments as he can before getting that promotion. And the great thing with Nashville MMA is that they just got a plethora of wicked good grapplers. Justin Ortiz, the head coach here, a guy that's got a win over Alexander Pantoja.
I know.
Fighting in the UFC tomorrow. They got Zach Hicks, they got Pat Crumpton, we talked about them. We talked about Charlie Alexander being at the gym. It's stacked, and you can see, I mean, he's having excellent top control so far, very strong. But again, comfortable in these positions from his day-to-day training.
Absolutely, man. And he looks to be, right now, he's trying to establish top control. He's working to not get caught in his guard. And I'll tell you something, Meadors is doing well by defending, not letting him pass. But Carranza is relentlessly coming after him. Guard pass, double under, slick guard. He's trying to get his knee past his knee. These guys are showing us early and quick that grappling is where it's at tonight.
Yeah, and this is a jiu-jitsu tournament. I mean, you got a lot of points being scored here, but in a submission-only match, it's all about that big submission. So you see, as much as it's going on here, Meadors is doing an excellent job of never accepting any of the positions. He's constantly moving on his hips. He's constantly angling onto a hip and constantly causing his opponent to think about something extra. So very competitive chess match so far.
Absolutely, I think the same. And at this pace they're going right now, this is going to be a long 10 minutes for both of them.
You know, I was just about to raise that point because people might think, oh, you know, they're grappling. How exhausted could they really be? There's no strikes in this format, but it's a 10-minute continuous round, and these guys are going, I mean, it's been 100 miles an hour since the cage door closed.
And not only that, but I think when you compete on just a traditional grappling tournament like he's done so far as a white belt, you're on an open mat. There's many other matches going on. Not all eyes are on you, but when you put that element of the cage, this is jiu-jitsu in the cage, it changes everything. There's added pressure. Everybody in the arena is watching them right now. Everyone's excited for this night of fights, and this is the first thing on. So there's an added layer of expectation. So 10 minutes is definitely going to feel like a long time for them.
Man, absolutely. And I'm enjoying watching the back and forth. I think Meadors has got a really good guard game. He's reestablished, but Carranza is straight up head control, ankle control, wrist control, back to pass, back to pass. One of them in a minute is going to give up the position, and then we're going to go into a lock set.
And Carranza is just very physically strong. You can see that he's got a very good base, good hips, and it's going to be very difficult to sweep this guy or maybe get back up to your feet. So I think the plan is be as active as possible, cause him to work, and as he tires, maybe that's your opportunity to catch him sleeping.
Absolutely.
It is all MMA after this submission grappling contest concludes. This is our opening bout here at the Nashville Underground.
Now Carranza's working. He almost passed him. Meadors replaced really quick, man. The kid's got a wickedly good guard replaced, man.
He definitely has a very active guard. I mean, very educated. He's very comfortable down there. And whenever he ends up in a slight bad position, he's immediately able to recover. So they've done a very good job with Meadors.
Meadors is looking, I think he's looking to establish some type of ashi, and Carranza's moving his hip every time Carranza steps his legs, and he steps back because Meadors, I think, is trying to slide under and establish. But right now, Carranza's passed. All right, Meadors replaced again. This is great back and forth, and we're just 3.5 minutes into a 10-minute match.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a night of really high energy contest. Our featured undercard bout of the evening will be Ben Rainwater versus Bryce Warner. That will be for Bryce Warner's Aries Fight Series Amateur Championship. Rainwater, a champion in his own right at that weight class in NFC Georgia. So it is a bit of a champion versus champion affair. That is really, I heard during weigh-ins, they said, you know, on paper we've got 4 pro fights. but that is definitely going to be a professional level contest there in our featured undercard bout of the evening.
You actually just stole my line. That was my line. Everybody keeps saying it's 4 pro fights, but if you know anything about these two guys, it's a pro fight. I mean, how many amateurs 5-0 versus 7-2 decide, yeah, let's test each other against each other and go out there and lock horns? But the winner of the fight is most definitely ready to make that jump into the pro ranks, and the loser of this fight, it doesn't stain that record. So it's an excellent way to test yourself before having to make that full commitment to the professional league.
Yeah, great job by the matchmakers, and I actually heard that said by Jeff Hobbs, so I don't want to plagiarize his line. He's a busy guy tonight. Got to give him credit, but we got a dangerous situation developing there. Carranza hunting on a neck submission. Monty, we are almost halfway through this round. It's been a lot of top control from Carranza.
Absolutely, and I think that Carranza's right now, and he said it earlier, he's a lot stronger. He looks to be physically stronger, so eventually that guard is going to be harder. Right now, he's looking to lock in a Darce choke.
And with Meadors, I mean, we talked about the pace and what it might take on Carranza, but Meadors has been very active, and he's got to carry that weight of Carranza on top of him. So I feel like part of it is now you're seeing him accept positions. Now he's not trying to re-guard. Now he's not getting on the hip. He's
tapping.
That's the
Darce choke is in.
Yeah, one of the techniques Carranza used that I really like, he was leaning on that head and pushing on the neck of Meadors, and I just felt like after about a minute and a half of that, you saw Meadors start to wilt under Carranza's pressure a little bit. So a big-time victory for Nashville MMA's own James Carranza, and I wonder if that is a harbinger of things to come. I'm sure the Nashville MMA fans hope that is the case.
Well, how good is it going to feel to walk in the back and have 9 of your teammates high-fiving you and getting ready for their fight? So great way to kick off the night.
It is a unique
Absolutely, man.
experience.
And I want to really quick to talk about the slick transition. I think that Meadors got really comfortable using his legs, and Carranza's setup, I think, from his team, Brian Tidwell, BT, really slick jiu-jitsu artist, is really good at Darces and anacondas. The setup was good, but I'm going to give Meadors props. That kid's going to go a long way. That's a good fighter, man. That was a good fighter.
No doubt about it, and Meadors staying sharp, so active. I believe this was his 4th contest in 2023. To make it official now, we throw it to Jeff Hobbs.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee stops us now at 5 minutes and 5 seconds of your 1 minute or your 10-minute round. Your winner by way of Darce choke out of the red corner,